So today's shoot's going to be a lot of fun. First, but not foremost, I'm going to be shooting with the 50 Summilux again, the new version, the 2023, because I really want to play with this some more. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is this giant umbrella. I really like giant umbrellas. I like smaller umbrellas more, but giant umbrellas give you so much more leeway. The issue is not everybody has the money for a Profoto A10 or any giant big ass flash. So let's see if we can do something with a giant umbrella and a little tiny speedlight. That's my thing here today. Now, using like an AD100 or an A2 with their bracket keeps that flash in the center. So speedlight, it's kind of a little bit more difficult. With a giant umbrella, you have more forgiveness, but you're still off center. A smaller umbrella, that distance that the speedlight center is versus the umbrella center actually makes a difference. So I'm going to swap this big D2 out with a small speedlight, but I'm going to use Profoto's new bracket because obviously it's going to go more towards the center, and I just want to use a small speedlight. I just want to see, now you can use anything with this. You can use a Godox V1 or a rectangular flash. It doesn't matter. The point of this is, using this giant umbrella with this. Now I'm not going to put a diffusion over this because obviously that's going to cut down the light way too much. But being able to use a giant umbrella, and believe it or not, I'm going to keep this low and close so you can fit it into some small spaces. If it's a deeper umbrella, like a decently deep umbrella, that it becomes cumbersome in smaller spaces. But using this for a small home studio or something like that, maybe you have to go down to a smaller size, but still, it's still the idea is the big umbrella with the small speed light. And just let's see what we can do with it and what kind of light we can produce. So I'm going to swap this out really quick and do a couple test shots and then bring our model and see how it goes. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this video, but let me swap this out really quick. Now, I'm not going to use a giant C-stand for this because a lot of people don't have those. I'm using a heavier duty, regular three-legged stand, but no boom arm or anything like that because it is a giant umbrella. And there's a lot of people that just don't have the equipment to use a C-stand with an arm and especially in a small studio. So let's stick with a smaller C-stand or a smaller regular stand, but it's somewhat heavy duty. And the shaft of the umbrella with these big umbrellas, you'll actually see them bend because they are pretty heavy. The kicker here is you have to align it with a leg. So the heaviest part of this is going to be your umbrella side. So you want to line the umbrella and where it's going with a leg, okay? And obviously flash goes into it, which you already knew. So you can see the stand's not going to have a problem holding it, but it's a heavy modifier. Now I'm going to get the speed light. I'm not going to embarrass myself and tell you where this thing was. Anyway, so I'm just using the A10 Speedlite. Like I said, you can use the V1 or one of those. Get some light on myself here from the window. And I haven't used this yet with this. I used it with the A2, but it fits really nicely and it is centered. And the nice part about this is I can put this dome on to spread the light more. I don't know if I need to, so I'm going to do a couple quick test shots to see the light spread in this umbrella with this small speed light. Because I just want to see, what kind of coverage it's giving. what I do for this is I just shoot the umbrella with the camera, and I put the aperture down really, really low to, you know, make everything as dark as possible to see where I'm at with it. I'll just set the Speedlite at f8 and then take a couple shots with, you know, with a closed aperture. Okay, there's my coverage. And as you can see, I mean, that light is just a slight bit higher, and all of my coverage is a slight bit higher on the umbrella. The lower half isn't getting as much light. You know, and that's going to push the light down versus pushing it everywhere. So I'm going to see if I can adjust this, which I don't think I can. So I'm kind of stuck with this. Maybe if I take this off. I'm getting a little bit better coverage, but not a lot. You can see the center weight of this flash in that umbrella. Now I'm going to use their wide diffuser. This thing, there was some controversy about this, the Profoto one, because it used to fall apart. I did have one fall apart actually, but we're going to try this. This one and the other one I have is holding up fine. I love that I can just throw filters on the front of this as well, but I just want to see the coverages on this. All right, so that's a lot more even with that diffuser, with the wide diffuser on it. That's not bad. You know, at the very bottom of the umbrella, I'll pull these up on screen because I guarantee these are out of focus, but at the bottom of the umbrella you can see that it's fallen off, but it's not nearly as bad as just the light dome itself, which was pretty bad. And you can see it pulling up there. Anyway, we're going to give this a whirl and see what we can do. You know, I think it's going to work out fine. I've done this before with umbrellas, and I was very happy with it, but this is a pretty large umbrella, so.
So this is our starting point with just window light and no flash. I am at ISO 64, 1/80th of a second, and this is, you know, I mean, obviously not usable. You can probably pull that out, but now with flash, I'm at 5.5 to 6.5. I think I went up to 7 one time on the flash. So I'm nowhere near full power on that flash. So it equals around 1/8 to 1/4, give or take, on a regular flash. The Profoto just goes from 1 through 10. Now the coverage is fantastic with this umbrella. And you'll see that with the full-length photo, I'm getting head-to-toe coverage. Now these are straight out of camera. The only thing I would do in editing these is take down that yellow tone just a little bit. I unfortunately let the white balance on auto versus flash, which didn't give me the consistent light because it's picking up some of the pink and some of the blue from the window, so it's trying to overcompensate for that. But it still did a pretty good job. And like I said, this is the Westcott 7-foot umbrella. I believe this is $99 brand new. Now, in comparison, the extra or giant umbrella from Profoto, which is the 8-foot, I believe is like $5,000. So, you know, for 12 inches less, I'm still getting great coverage and saving $4,900. It could be, I saw them used for $2,000, I believe. But this is lightweight, really well built, and for $99 and a Speedlite. Now remember, you don't need a Profoto Speedlite for this setup. You can use a $70 generic flash, which will do the same thing. And you just use that pull-out diffuser, the wide-angle diffuser on it. It's going to give you the same coverage. So it's really working well. I'm pleased with the output of this. And I'm really shocked at the power setting with this being in such a large umbrella. Now, just moving your umbrella around different angles obviously will give you different looks. Turn it a little bit more towards your model, you get more coverage on the backdrop and the model. Putting it back like this gives you more of a shadowed look. There's so many things you can do with it. Now, like I said in the beginning, throwing a diffuser over this would really cut down on the light, and I would probably be at power 10 or have to raise my ISO. But remember, I'm shooting at ISO 64 on this, and the photos are great with 1/80th of a second, and probably 2.8. I did go down to 1.4 a few times because I wanted to play with this lens, like I said. When I went down to 1.4 on the lens, I took the light down to 5.5 power. And I had to try some close focus ones too, because I haven't used close focus on this lens yet. So coming up here, you'll see a close focus one. I could have got closer, honestly, but I didn't. I didn't want to get that interface. Remember, this is a 50mm lens. So going close with the close focus, which is, I think, down to 0.45, maybe, give or take, is I'm going to be in the model's face, and you'll see that coming up. I'm pretty close to her. This, I just used the handheld pocket fan. Here's the close focus one, and you see how close I am. And this isn't as close as it gets. I can get actually closer than this, but it would be uncomfortable for a model athlete if you got any closer than that. But the quality is fantastic. Of this lens, just to throw that in there along with this giant umbrella shoot. But yeah, so all of you that have asked, with the giant umbrella and a Speedlite, it does work. There's no issues with it. A little Speedlite was able to fill this 7-foot umbrella without issue, and the photos and quality were fantastic. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the shoot. If you have any questions, leave them below. And again, thanks for watching as always.